If there's anything that wrestling fans can come together on is the fact that wrestling merch can kind of get a little bit maybe outdated or just a little bit embarrassing to wear. There isn't a lot of great wrestling shirts that you want to wear outside of the house that you're like, oh, yeah, I feel great in this today. There just isn't a lot. But I know there is a place that I have heard of that you've probably heard me talk about in the last month is Superkicks. Superkicks offers all kinds of cool original designs that kind of fit with today's society and actually make you want to wear something that's like, this is pro wrestling related, but it also kind of fits with, you know, society and fits with the rest of the world and kind of just lets you kind of feel confident and still support pro wrestling. Superkicks.com, that's SPRKIX.com, offers all kinds of stuff that I'm pretty confident that you'll find something you love. So I'm so confident that I have the chance to give you a cool little discount. If you want free shipping on anything site-wide, anywhere in the world, you can get free shipping using the code JOSH00. If you use this code at the checkout, you can get something like this cool Superkicks unisex shirts that they have, these cool gold ones. You can get some pro wrestling related stuff, some pro wrestling podcast related stuff, some hoodies, some stickers, some hats, whatever you want, it's there. Just go to superkicks.com, that's SPRKIX.com, and find something you love. Use the code JOSH00, you get free shipping. It's everything you want out of cool pro wrestling related merch. Again, that's superkicks.com. Use the code JOSH00, and I'm sure you'll find something you just love. With a PlayStation 2 release date of November 14th, 2005, and a PlayStation Portable release date of December 13th, 2005, the world was introduced to the latest game in the Wwe Game series, which was the second in the Smackdown vs. Raw series. Taking the series in a new direction by moving away from that arcade-based gameplay and moving into a more realistic and simulation-based style of game. This is the last game of the series to be exclusive to the PlayStation 2, and is also the best-selling game for the PS2 in this series. My name is Josh Robinson, and this is 5 reasons why I love WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2006. Reason number 1. The General Manager mode. Yep, I'm getting it out the way first because everybody knows that this is the first reason why everybody loves this game. What I consider to be the best General Manager mode out of the 3 games that had General Manager mode, this one had everything I want without overcomplicating everything and just the right amount of everything that you need out of a General Manager mode. I miss this mode. I think everybody across the board, whenever 2K come out and ask, hey, what do you want from these games, and what do you want to see in future wrestling, in WWE games, I should say, it's GM mode is at the top of the list all the time. I love GM mode. I miss GM mode. This one in particular is just, to me, it's perfect. It's everything I want out of General Manager mode, with the right amount of fun and kind of encouraging gameplay to want you to come back for more, but also challenging with contracts and actually figuring out the system for how these games kind of, you know, rate these matches and all of that kind of stuff. It is just so fun. It's something I still do. I go back and play this GM mode. It's just everything I want. I draft rosters from always Raw because I always want the Women's Championship. A big shocker to me. And playing other people, playing multiplayer in this was the best, and even just playing against the AI was still great. It's just the perfect mode. I want it back in some way, shape, or form. It is reason number 1 why I love SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Reason number 2, the progression of the season mode. Now, in the very first 5 reasons why, I talked about the original SmackDown vs. Raw and how much I love the season mode, taking in, you know, that new aspect of voiceovers and introducing us to a world that isn't so text-based, is so foreign to WWE and everything in the games. We never really had seen that. Now, in 2006, they really expanded on this, and you had long, improved season modes that were just so wacky and so great. It was the perfect progression of where they were going from SmackDown vs. Raw in even previous games, Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth with the text-based stuff that I just alluded to, but it was all kind of, this is where we're going with the series, and it was definitely a step that we were used to seeing over the next few years in games, and just, it was so fun. The whole idea that Teddy Long was hit by a car when you're on Smackdown is just sign me up for it all. I love the season mode, and it is reason number 2 why I love Smackdown vs. Raw 2006. Reason number 3, the Creation Suite. Whew, this game had a good lot of creation stuff where it really became a staple of the series to be able to go through and create your own superstar from top to bottom with not only appearance but moveset, entrance. You can create their own titles and moves and stables, I should say, and just it had a lot. And this was a big just step up to what we had seen and where we were going with this series. I know it's hard to tell when you first buy these games. It's not something of like, oh, I know what comes after this in 2007 and 8 and so on and so forth, but it was really a step of where we were going, and it was just like, oh, this is in really good shape. And Create a Superstar mode, it had much more, I would say, realism. Again, they were going for more realistic based stuff, as I said at the top of this episode. So they were going for that more realistic approach of, we want you to be able to create, not only in the ring, but, you know, looks of superstars and their aesthetic and their feel and their moveset. That we wanted to replicate what's on WWE programming, and this was definitely a step in that direction. It was really cool to see Create a Belt in a returning feature and coming back, and you can now create tag team belts in this game, and just everything. It just had a great progression. This is a great progressive game. It's one of my favorite Smackdown vs. Raw. It's one of my favorite wrestling games of all time because it just had everything you need without overcomplicating everything, and the Creation Suite was definitely a big reason. And it is reason number 3 why I love Smackdown vs. Raw 2006. Reason number 4, the PlayStation Portable exclusive features. Now, if you never played this game on PSP, you will probably not really know what I'm talking about. The PSP had pretty much everything that the PS2 version had. Of course, it didn't run the power that a PS2 had. The PSP was not a PS2 at all, but it had similar features. But it was pretty much the same game with a few little added things. First and foremost, you got Jake the Snake Roberts. He was an exclusive PSP legend. You could only play him in the PS2 version if you remember PSPs, you could hook them into your PS2 via like the cable. I think it was like a USB cable. It was some kind of cable that ran from your PSP to your PS2. That's the only way you could play him on the PS2 version, but something that I love, and it's kind of weird, and it's kind of wacky, but there was a couple of modes that you could play in the PSP version only. I believe there was 3 exclusive mini-games that are playable all from the start of the game. There was a WWE game show, which was like wrestling questions. It was basically like a quiz show and all that kind of stuff. But there was also Eugene's airplane game, where you were Eugene and you ran to the ring like you were a plane, and you raced and you set times and stuff like that. But the main reason why I'm putting this in here is the poker. The PSP version of Smackdown vs. Raw 2006 had WWE Texas Hold'em, and it was poker, and you could play as like Stacy Keibler and Jim Ross and Kane and all of these different people, and you would play poker, and they would have the most ridiculous faces when they were bluffing or they were losing or they were winning. It was just so ridiculous, and it's just something I remember about the PSP version being like, you couldn't play this on the PS2. It was the best thing ever. So reason number 4, that is reason number 4 why I love Smackdown vs. Raw 2006. Reason number 5, the soundtrack. Now, to be honest, I could probably name 10 reasons why I love this game, but I'm sticking it to 5, and you probably notice I'm not really talking a lot about the gameplay. That's a given. This game had really fun gameplay, and it was really a step away from the arcade stuff and more into like the simulation stuff that some people love, some people hate. I'm a fan of simulation, so it was really a step in the right direction for me. But I'm not including that in this game, in this episode, whatever you want to call it, because I feel like the soundtrack needs to get its own little section here, because the soundtrack in this game is just Smackdown vs. Raw, Smackdown vs. Raw 2006, Smackdown vs. Raw 2007, and Smackdown vs. Raw 2008 all had stellar stellar soundtracks. And this one in particular had some damn good tracks in this one. From Symphony of Destruction, that beautiful remix, to Pieces and everything else in between. This game, it was just such a nostalgic, great soundtrack that I just remember hearing these 12, 13 songs kind of over and over again while I'm playing GM mode. And even to this day, I'm not really sick of them because they were just so fun and just so great. And it's one of the reasons why I love this so much. And it's just, I just remember just vibing out and being like, look at all this cool music. As an 11-year-old Josh is playing this game. It just was everything. It was just so good. And I miss days of like just wall-to-wall perfect soundtracks. And again, music is subjective, just like wrestling, but I personally think this is the best SmackDown vs. Raw soundtrack. And I know a lot of you will be like, no, this one was the best, this one was the best. In my opinion, this one was the best. And it's reason number 5 why I love SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. And there we have it. There is 5 reasons why I love SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. It is I would say, my personal favorite WWE game. I absolutely adore this game. A lot of the reason is it was the first one that I had on my own PS2 where I didn't have to share with my siblings. I had my own PS2. This was the first wrestling game that I got on it, and I was just able to play it on my own. So it's a big reason why I love it. But hey, it's a great game. It's a very all-rounded, good game. Just everything about it, as I said in the video. If you like this game, let me know in the comments below. Of course, as well as letting me know if you liked or didn't like this game. Let me know what you would like to see me cover here on 5 reasons why any kind of video game, and it's not hard to tell you that I just haven't played it or I don't have enough knowledge on it to give you an opinion. But let me know in the comments below. Leave a like, share this on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever. You can find me on all those places. The links are in the description below. Pretty much Josh Robinson 00 across the board. The easiest place to find me is on Twitter, and of course on Twitch, twitch.tv/Josh Robinson 00. I hang out 4 to 5 times a week playing all different kinds of games with a semi-focus on what we love the most, what you just watched, on professional wrestling. So whatever time of the day it is, whenever you clicked on this video, I hope you have a good rest of your morning, night, day, whatever you're vibing with right now. I hope it is well. And until the next one, peace out everyone.